wings.
The Wingmaster.
Well, greetings, Imagination Connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your Duke of Dope Discourse, your master of fun and wonder, your viceroy of verisimilitude, but most importantly, your pharaoh of physical media, Robert Meyer Burnett. And this is, let's get physical media 152, 153. Doesn't matter. You know, it's another week. It's another week where we talk about our dying obsession in physical media. Yes, absolutely. And you know what? I can't do it alone. I can't do it alone. I have to go all the way across the planet Earth. Across the planet Earth to bring you what and who you need. That's right. You know him. You love him. All the way from Saarbrücken, Deutschland, Mr. Dieter. Bastian. Dieter, how are you?
Well, Rob, I'm very happy that I can do the show with you because we had terrible floods yesterday in some parts of the county. There were evacuation. The electricity had to be cut off. Luckily, I was one of the few that stayed dry through those terrible times. And I say, greetings, Imagination Connoisseurs. Dieter here. Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. And welcome to the B&B Motel on a Sunday evening for me. And Rob, we always try to change our mistakes because I forgot something last week, Rob, which has nothing to do with physical media, but sometimes, you know, we are off into other topics. And this one is on Europe, because you brought this up last year.
What?
Because you had that devilish grin on your face. And you were so happy that Germany made last place at the Eurovision Song Contest last year. But not this year, Rob. Not this year. We made a mediocre 12th place, number 12. So a win for Germany, Rob. Number 12 is a win for Germany. At least not last.
You know, in this day and age when everybody gets a participation trophy and people think meritocracy is a bad word, if you want to say that 12th place is something to celebrate, who am I to say no? Who am I to say no, Dieter? If you want to be, you know, you go right ahead. And if you see that as an epic victory, I grant you.
Not last in line anymore.
Well, I'm glad you feel that way because I don't know what to say. I don't want to harsh anyone's mellow. It is not my place to harsh anyone's mellow these days. Don't want to do it. I want to make sure everybody's happy because everybody's living in their own world with their own truths, and you know everybody expects you to know what those are if you pass them by in the streets. Why? I don't know where that all came from. I can't wait to see it all come crashing down. Burn it all down. But hey, if you want to be happy about 12th place, that's okay. You know what I'm happy about?
Mediocre.
You know what I'm happy about? Guess what I woke up to this morning?
To a package?
No, it's Sunday.
No?
No, even better. I got an email from Max Allan Collins.
Ooh, okay.
Writer of True Noir, The Assassination of Anton Cermak. You know what he sent me?
New script.
A new episode, episode 7. That means we have episodes 1 through 6. That means we have over 210 pages of screenplay. And you know how much we're going to get? We're probably going to get another 100, maybe another 100 pages, 100 and then we'll be done. I mean, we're going to have like a 300-page script. I'm very excited. Todd Stashwick got on a plane from Europe yesterday. He's going to read the first 6. It's very exciting.
So you're already in production, Rob? I thought
we are. We started. Okay. We've started production on May 1st, but we record the actors beginning June 10th. But maybe there's an actor we might be recording on June 3rd, along with Todd, if we can make that work, because that actor is not in the country. So we'll see. But it's moving forward. I'm very excited. You guys are going to be very excited. I can't believe how big this project has grown. All because of the work and the wordsmithing of Max Allan Collins.
That's
very. Nice. I'm not going to say I'm not worthy because I am worthy. I deserve it. Because gosh darn it, you like me. No, I don't know. We'll see. You're gonna like me when you hear this, though. What we are crafting, what Max Allen Collins and we here at Imagination Connoisseurs Unlimited are putting together as our first project. I'm already incredibly proud of it, and you should be too, and you will. But you don't know how good it's going to be yet, and you don't know who's in it, and I do. So,
and do you know what I got in the mail, Rob?
I don't.
Another present for you, which I have nothing to do with.
Okay, wait a minute. I just want to say I got a book from David Kokel that I forgot to bring down.
Nice.
Another book. But you know what? Since you're talking about another present for me, I should show the present that I got from you for my birthday.
Ooh.
Look what came in the mail on my birthday.
Nice. And what's the tagline, Rob? Below. Something is wrong with Grandpa.
Something is wrong with Grandpa. Yeah, thanks a lot. Fuck off, you dick. Fuck you. Uh-oh, demonetized. Something is wrong with Grandpa. You know what? He's shouting at clouds.
Yeah.
Clouds, I tell you. Clouds.
Clouds.
Shouting. I got all my hair, though.
Rob, since we are a little bit champions for the Hope and Glory fan film, when you did the interview with Eric, he did show you his storyboard book, Rob, and I have it for you here.
Oh my God. That storyboard book
for you,
is amazing. Wow.
The postcards, and you will get the storyboard book, Rob.
You know what? It's a Mad Max kind of a week because you know it opens Friday.
Yeah.
That's right. Furiosa. Are you going to see it?
Of course. But I don't know exactly when. And this was not the only thing Eric did send me. He did send me the same and a nice photo book about the production.
Wow, that's really nice. How cool is that?
Yeah, totally. How many fan films get a photo book?
Well, more, I think that I think it's good. That's
It was mad, Rob. It was mad.
And you know what else we're getting tomorrow? Do you know what happens tomorrow? This is a big week for movies. Do you know what premieres at Cannes tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I know Megalopolis did already had its showings, but I don't know what else is big on the horizon in Cannes.
My favorite Canadian director, Big Davey C. David Cronenberg's new film, Shrouds. Deeply personal. Vincent Cassel is in it. It looks, and so is Diane Kruger. I'm very excited. You know me. I'm a big David Cronenberg fan, and this more body horror is always a good thing. I thought that Crimes of the Future would be the last body horror we got from him, but I was wrong. Megalopolis sounds, interesting. I like living in a world where we get a movie like that as opposed to living in a world where we don't. So you go, Francis C. Make your movie. Flash dance that shit. Take your passion and make it happen.
And I'm still happy that the views for Hope and Glory are still at a steady pace. We're at 140K now, which is totally insane for me. Way better than the trailer did. But
they have to be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, totally.
I mean,
10K each day, constantly for YouTube. That's great.
And they haven't been demonetized, and Warner Brothers didn't go after them.
Luckily.
So no, you know what? I think this is a good promotion for Furiosa. It's and look, the movie's so well done that
totally.
I mean, hell, they should just give those guys a Mad Max TV series. Give them 8 episodes on Netflix. Why not? They've already got episode 1.
So, on the other topic, Rob, on the real box office, even we have the film festival in Cannes, but the movie world is moving forward normally. Do you have box office numbers?
I do, right here for you.
Even if I have to say, I don't care at all about if, but I care a little bit about Rennie Harlin coming back with Strangers, and I would like to know, is the name recognition, is it enough? Because the reviews are not really good.
No, they're not really good. I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the box office. I only have international box office. Only international box office has gone up which it doesn't have strangers on it. But, we have another movie that is surprisingly...
Sorry, Rob, it hasn't started. It hasn't started here. Internationally, I don't know.
No, it hasn't. But I mean, the domestic box office isn't up yet. So
okay.
I can give you international. Our friend Nancy Tartaglione at Deadline has the international box office. Now we have Ryan Reynolds and John Krasinski's new movie If, that people have said is really good. At least the people I've talked to said it was really good. It did not do great domestically. It's underperformed along with The Fall Guy, which inexplicably is going to, well, I guess it's not inexplicable, is going to VOD next week after 2 weeks. A movie that costs over $100 million is going to VOD. Got to get those interest payments in, buddy. So after starting early offshore, John Krasinski's If last weekend, Paramount expanded the Imaginary Friends film to another 56 international box office markets. The overseas frame was worth $20 million, bringing the international running cum to $24 million, with the domestic debut at $35 million. Worldwide total is now $59 million. Now, this movie cost over $100 million.
Yeah.
Now, I understand there's a lot of CG and all that, but, you got to look at if you were to bring the budget down, you don't have as much ground to cover. I don't understand. I mean, I know it seems like a great package, but that's what she said. But I don't know, man. It's too bad. If does have positive word of mouth, so who knows? Strongholds Overseas, 20th Century Studios, coming to you from President Steve Asbell, the quiet king of franchises. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes made $136.3 million so far, which carries its global to $237.5 million. This movie was made for $30 million less than War of the Planet of the Apes was. So, I mean, if they keep going, hopefully they'll get this cumulative box office up to maybe $500 million. That would be a very, very great result for that movie. So, very exciting. And the IMAX total is $21.8 million global. The Garfield movie has opened overseas, and it's purring overseas. I didn't write that. Someone else did. With another $10.3 million from just 27 markets. It hasn't even opened here, and it's already made $49 million. The Fall Guy.
And it was the number one here in Germany, Rob, before Planet of the Apes.
Garfield.
Planet of the Apes we're coming in only second.
I don't get it. I mean, Garfield. Everyone loves this Garfield thing. I mean, I don't mind Garfield. I love cats, but wow, you go Garfield, you go. So Tarot has made $30 million global. Challengers, Zendaya. Zendaya's a star. Challengers, in a playing tennis and trysting with two dudes. $78.7 million on Challengers. Wow, that's a pretty great result for that movie. Yeah. Kung Fu Panda 4 is at $533.4 million. Abigail, your favorite vampire movie, is at $39.8 million. Bob Marley, One Love. It's only in Japan. It has made $178.5 million global. That is a great Jalaman. That is a great number. And Back to Black, the Amy Winehouse documentary, tanked here because people just don't know who Amy Winehouse is. $9 million global. Not doing great for that, which is too bad. But there you go. And so I don't have a Strangers Day One or whatever the hell it's called. Okay. Not good reviews.
Chapter one.
Yeah, how can it be Chapter 1 after watching this? I don't know.
Yeah. As far as I know, Rob, they filmed Chapter 2 and 3 back to back, so all movies are already done, as far as I know. And Rennie directed all 3 of them. And I watched Rennie, The Bricklayer, Rob, with Aaron Eckhart. For me, Rob, pretty decent action thriller. And if you compare it to Jesse Johnson's Chief of Station, this is clearly the winner, Rob. in my book. If you have to choose, you want to get your Liam Neeson film, but Liam isn't there anymore. Who is else coming up? Aaron Eckhart, and you want to see him as a CIA agent? I would choose The Bricklayer, considering the quality of the action scenes, the look, the sound. Chief of Station is a little bit more on the cheaper side, even as The Bricklayer.
All right. Well, okay. I can see that.
Just saying. Did you get around to watch Baby Reindeer, Rob?
I have not.
Okay.
No, it has been working on everything from White Devils to True Noir, the assassination of Anton Cermak from the Nathan Heller case books. I have not. I've been so busy. Although I have been, to be honest, I am almost done. I've redone my whole physical media. What would I call it? It's like my Criterion closet of physical media. It's almost completely revamped. So I think next week I'm going to broadcast from over there. I'll have a secondary place to broadcast from in front of all my physical media.
Nice. And something I've watched too, Rob, Dave Parker made me aware of it. The Last Stop, Yuma in Yuma County. Really nice thriller. Totally had a great time with it. Good recommendation for me.
Jim Cummings, who's in that. I want him to star in a movie I want to direct that I've written.
Nice one. Richard Brake is in it as the bad guy, obviously. A little bit of typecasting always, but really nice thriller. Totally great tension. And Barbara Crampton is in it too, Rob, in a small
I know.
Yeah.
God love Barbara Crampton.
Yeah. So, recommendation from my end for Last Stop in Yuma County. And I had a little bit of a Danish week, Rob. Like I said last week, I watched Night Watch
How was that?
Before I could dive into Night Watch, Demons Are Forever.
Oh, okay.
The sequel 30 years later. 30 years later with almost the same cast except for one person, but that role was really small in the new one. Even the doctor 30 years ago who was just on call, if some of the dead people wants to have, a last consultation hour, even he is back in the remake, in the sequel. Really nice sequel. Only the climax was a little bit of a letdown. Should have been.
That's what she said too.
A bit more punchy, against the first one, but still as a sequel 30 years later from Ole Bornedal again. Really nice one. Night Watch. But I would suggest to watch the Night Watch from 1994 first before you go into the sequel. Because for me it was really, really great to see the sequel with the old one fresh in mind. So I could go Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh, I know this, I know that. But it wasn't just nostalgia. It plays a little bit different.
That's
because
good.
His daughter is working now at the morgue and wants to find out what happened with her dad and her mom 30 years ago. Exactly. But it was great to see all the guys back here.
That's good.
Demons.
Like it. All good.
Watch. Demons Are Forever. And the title is really fitting. The subtitle. Demons Are Forever.
All right.
Okay. Where do we go?
What's that? What do you want to do?
Where do we go?
Where do we go? Why don't we show some physical media? Because that's the name of this show.
Rob.
You start. Well, I already showed The Elderly, which I'm very excited about. Thank you for this.
Let me just choose movies I have watched this week. I watched Baghead.
How was that?
Unfortunately, a little bit of a letdown through the CGI, Rob. There were a lot of fire stuff in the movie. If those fire shots have been done practical, it would be way better. But the CGI is really mediocre and brings the movie as a whole, unfortunately, a little bit down.
That's bad.
Entry level horror.
Oh man, that's damning. Entry level horror. Man.
One of my favorites this year, Rob, was You'll Never Find Me. Rob, this has, for me, on the audio side, a 10 out of 10, considering the mix. Yeah. totally a blast. And it's just set in one location, in a trailer park. For me, creepy, tense, even if actually not much is happening. The finale was a little bit conventional, I would say, but for me, it wasn't a big downer. So for me, really recommendation, Rob. You'll Never Find Me. It is, as far as I believe, on Shudder as well.
Wow.
In the States. You'll Never Find Me. Great. From Australia, Rob. Not much to it. Just a location in a trailer park. An old guy, a girl comes knocking at his door, and you try to figure out which one is actually not right in the mind. You'll never find me. Big recommendation. One of my favorites this year, Rob. And of course, the Blu-ray comes with a 5.1 sound, so a little bit an uptick from Shudder, which they only have stuff in stereo. A movie which I showed last week, Rob, which I watched. It's not Megalopolis, but it was Megalomaniac, Rob, I watched. Well, it's that kind of a movie, Rob, where you want to take a shower afterwards, but it's not without artistical merits to it.
I don't know this movie. Tell me about this movie. What is this?
It's a movie from Belgium, so it isn't in France. It's about a serial killer, and his son is continuing his tradition, and he has a sister too, which works at the industrial factory as a cleaning woman, as Stedman would say it, as a cleaning woman. Wouldn't give too much anything away. It's not big on the story, more on the feeling. It's not at the level of Martyrs, but if you're in that kind of stuff, probably this could be for those types of genre lovers. It has some
it's that
nice, it has some nice visuals, but this is not for everyone, Rob. It's not for everyone.
Sounds like it's for me.
Yeah. you need to take a shower probably afterwards. And you showed this already, Rob, but the storyboard book I didn't get for free, Rob, because Eric demanded he wanted to get my inside. So I went, Rob, for the second side one then, I bought a second side for Inside.
Did you watch it? Have you seen Inside?
Not yet. But back in the day, Rob. I haven't seen it in a long time.
I had I have to tell you, so I was when I was rearranging, my discs, I'm pretty strictly alphabetical.
Yeah, I know.
But with all of the second sight discs, they look really good together, but some are 4K and some are Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So, at first I put all the second sight discs next to each other, and I'm like, you know what? I gotta stick to my alphabetizing. So I know where everything is. I can go, oh, by the way, do you know what I got to do when I was rearranging my discs? I got to take my Frontiers DVD out.
Oh,
put
nice.
My Frontiers second sight in its place. I love doing
that. That's good.
And that was the second thing that I did that with this week, and I'm going to show you what the first thing was. And I was very excited about replacing the DVD with something else.
Replacing a DVD is always
my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing, unless there's special features on it, in which case I'll just leave it there. But
so Inside from second sight. So let me just see what else I've got. Mean Girls, the steelbook.
Wow, is that the new one?
No, not the new one, Rod. The original one, but it just comes with the 4K for it. So, Mean Girls, and the other one, I think you showed it, Rob, or was it just the news section? I don't know anymore. Or in Rob's renaming movies, it's Primal Gear. I got Primal.
Oh, look at that in a foreign language.
Yeah, in Italy. It's the Italian cover. So it comes with the Blu-ray and.
Did you watch it? Have you seen that before?
Yeah, but really, Rob.
I
think
love that movie.
VHS days. I don't even know if I've seen it during the DVD days. So really, really long time.
Richard Gere's new film that Paul Schrader directed, Oh Canada, premiered at Cannes this week. So Primal Gear is still primal. He's still out there. He's still gearing it up. Gotta love that.
Yeah. I only got the first one, but I will get the second one too, to have both. This is the first of the 3 Musketeer movies with Eva Green.
There's 3? I thought there was only 2.
Only 2. Yeah, but I only got the first one. I only got the first one at the moment. This is the German, just normal Blu-ray edition. Fortunately, no 4K here. There is a 4K, I believe, in France, but as always, no English subtitles, so pretty useless. Unless it's Godzilla -1, then I make an exception. So the first 3 Musketeers, and they shot, I think, both movies back to back. The next movie I watched on Amazon Prime, was totally blown away by it. It was in the running for an Academy Award International Best Movie. It was the German entry, The Teacher's Lounge. This is the Blu-ray for it. Really great performance by the main actress. So really dug the movie. The movie is only shot in 4:3.
Yeah, but I heard it was great.
Yeah, totally great movie. Luckily, reversible cover artwork, so I could get rid of the rating. The other one, I couldn't go to the UK for this one because the UK, as we know, is censored. So I did go with the German one, considering who.
The UK version is censored?
Yeah, Rob. UK version is censored. Didn't you know that?
No, I did not.
The UK version is censored, Rob. That little scene, with the 2 smaller boys, getting to know what's up. That has left the UK, Rob. Even if it's rated 18, the German one is rated.
Wow, they're censoring The Abyss and Poor Things.
Yeah.
What's coming?
Not only that, Rob. Not only that. I even had to cancel Soldier Blue. The German, the lullaby of manslaughter. I even had to cancel that because this movie is still censored in the UK too. Blue Soldier.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know which part of the movie, but I did some research and I canceled my pre-order, so I will go with the German media book, which is the same considering the look. So this is my first haul, Rob.
Well, I didn't buy much. I because I've just been I have to get Dune 2. I have to get I'm waiting for my Crow Steel book. Who knows? But I did get some stuff, and I did get packages from our unofficial sponsor. First of all, Kino Lorber. Gotta love Kino Lorber. They sent me a Golden Bear winner on the Adamant.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of this?
No. Okay.
Okay. They also sent me Alexandra Billings is in this Queen Tut, which is a LGBTQ trans film, which I haven't seen. That sounds pretty good. And here, you'll love this. The Eichmann Trial. More of these great documentaries that Kino Lorber puts out. And then, of course, Queen of the Deuce, which I'm sure is very interesting. I love Kino Lorber's documentaries. So they sent those out. They're only on DVD, but hey, what are you going to do? And then they sent me the 11 DVD set of the original The Killing.
Oh, the series. Nice.
The whole series, which is a great series. I'll take it because I have to fill up I have a new television shelf for TV shows, which is pretty great.
That's a great idea. That's great.
Yeah. Now, then they sent me some great classic Blu-rays.
Help me just out, Rob. The Killing was remade in America?
Yes.
Or is okay.
Yeah.
And this is the original one.
This is the original one. Yes. Then they sent me some Blu-rays. William Powell, Philo Vance, Going Back in Time. All 3 movies, which is pretty interesting. And they're the best 4K and 2K scans of the film elements. And they're based on S.S. Van Dyne's best-selling novels. And these are pre-code, which means pre-Hays Code. and that means that they probably have a lot of fun stuff in them. I seem to remember I saw one of these a long time ago. I'm sure that Max Allen Collins could opine on these more than I could, but he's not here, so he can't do it. Big Man on Campus, the Hunchback of UCLA. We needed him to go bust some heads during those campus protests last week or 2 weeks ago. So much for that. Now, this is interesting. Barry Newman, Diana Muldaur from 2 Star Trek episodes, and, of course, Dr. Pulaski in TNG, The Lawyer.
Oh,
I don't know where they get this stuff, but yeah, it's pretty interesting. They got an interview with Barry Newman on here, special features. Pretty cool. And Sonia Sohn, who was on The Wire, is in this movie called The Slam. So that came out. Don't know anything about it, but hey, it's cool. And this comes out from their Milestone Cinematheque. This is a new 4K restoration of a film called Bushman that I don't know anything about. But hey, you go, Kino Lorber. And then I love this. The last thing they sent me was Peggy Castle is back from the dead and she lived to destroy. God bless them with all of their O-ring covers. So those are the Blu-rays that came from Kino Lorber. Now, our other patron saint is, of course, George Feltenstein and the crew over at Warner Premiere. I got a little package from Warner Premiere. Now, I got to say, George Feltenstein has got to be laughing when he puts this stuff out, because every time lately, when you look at the covers, maybe it's just me and my sensibility, but so I got 3 discs in, and I want you guys here. I got to go full frame on this because George Feltenstein's a cheeky guy, and I wonder if they recognize this over at Warner Brothers. So here's a film called You're a Big Boy Now. Now, the cover says, "The Odyssey of a young youth who wants no part of sex. He wants it all." So here's the cover for You're a Big Boy Now. All right? You're a big boy now talking about sex. Yeah. Then the next, William Wyler's movie with Gary Cooper, Friendly Persuasion, which I have seen. But on the poster it says, "It will pleasure you 100 ways." So after You're a Big Boy Now, okay, it'll pleasure you 100 ways, right? And then you've got,
so you make that a double feature.
Yeah, the double feature, The Odyssey of a Young Youth Who Wants No Part of Sex, He Wants It All. So you got these two movies that promise something. And then the third one is Audrey Hepburn in The Nun's Story. So after you've sinned these two
you made
films,
a triple feature now.
You can watch Audrey Hepburn in. I mean, this is a classic, and kudos to George for always using this great, beautiful, classic artwork. But I've actually seen Friendly Persuasion, but I have not seen. And you know what's great about this is, do you know who wrote and directed You're a Big Boy Now?
Man, nope.
Francis Ford Coppola.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
And, it's true, and it's a coming-of-age romantic comedy. I've never seen this. I thought I had seen this, but I realized I have not seen this. I thought The Rain People, this is the second. I mean, you know, they released The Rain People, and now they released this, so my Coppola filmography, I believe, is complete as soon as I get that Conversation box set, which we should talk about because they're sold out of it in the UK. I don't know where to buy it now. I got to figure that out. But so that's my first bit of discs that I received from other people.
And
so
what have you actually heard, Rob, about Megalopolis so far?
Just what I've read. You know, it's very polarizing. I mean, to me, it sounds like it's really interesting. So here's the thing. I mean, you and I have, our tastes in film is wide and expansive. And I think that the people that are reviewing films now or that are looking at movies now, especially executives and things like that, look, half the movies that I own would never be released by a studio today. You know, I always talk about the Michelangelo Antonioni Ennui trilogy. La Notte, La Ventura, and The Eclipse. No studio would release those. Half the foreign films of the 1960s would never come out from studios now. So when someone says that Megalopolis is, who's going to watch it, it can't find an audience, whatever they think, those are people speaking of today. And for me, I think whatever Coppola's doing, it's going to be worth watching, whether it's, I mean, when I first saw One from the Heart, I didn't love it, but, I kind of love it now. And I can't wait to get the new disc. I haven't got the new disc yet. That's coming in this week. But
isn't there a new cut on the new disc?
Yeah, and he's done that with Cotton Club. He did that with Godfather 3. He's done that with One from the Heart. I think it's interesting. He's gone back and revisited those films. I really do think that the Cotton Club is way better. It's just a better movie, and it's cool that we're getting those things. So
yeah, certainly.
Yep.
This Megalopolis, do we have a distributor now at the moment, or is it still in flux?
Well, in France, a company called Le Pacte has picked it up for European distribution, and I don't know about if they're going to release it here or not. What's really interesting is there's a part in the movie where an actor this is true, an actor has to come out in the theater and has a conversation with one of the characters on screen. Yeah. That's how crazy this movie is. So the distributor said they're going to do everything they can to have a live actor in the theater when it plays. But my question is, what are they going to do when it comes to home video? There's going to be a scene. There's going to be a scene where a character is supposed to be interacting with an actor that's live in the theater. Are they going to recreate that for home video? I don't know how they would. I guess maybe you'll have to learn the lines, and when you show it to people at your house, you're the actor. You can get up there and you can interact with on the screen.
Probably just a voice of them later. Perhaps.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I heard about that, Rob. Really, really crazy.
Yeah,
really crazy. Okay. Should we do some super chats, Rob?
Yeah, I don't know if we have any. Let's see. We do. Actually, there is. Okay. Here's a super chat that actually, there's a few super chats I think that I've missed. Wait a minute.
Okay.
No, these are all new. There are super chats here. Okay. Martino says, greetings, gentlemen. For those of you who don't know, the great Martino Simoni came over here. I wish he'd seen the Robservatory the way it is now. Because I'm going to make a video. I'm finally going to make a video because he saw it as an absolute wreck. Because I had pulled out, there's stuff just everywhere. It's all back where it's supposed to go. It's very cool now. But Martino Simoni came by. He brought cigars, Legos, a cake.
And the money. Yeah, he is the money. Dressed very dapperly, driving a Shelby Mustang on a 4,000, almost a 5,000 mile journey across the United States. So he was here for my actual birthday and with the family. And it was a lot of fun. So Martino, it was great to see you in person. And everybody's been talking about how debonair and intelligent he is. And Elizabeth's like, oh, he's very intelligent. I'm like, what am I, chopped liver? But it's okay. Colt. Actually, 1001 Johnny says, I found a resale store. They resell comics as well as video games and figures. I spent $36. I got 12 books for $3 each. Within those 12 was Kirby's OMAC number 6, which was $9, but I got it for $3. I think I'll return to that store someday. I used to love OMAC, One Man Army Corps. That's what Kirby was all about. So, someone made some Schnäppchen.
A Schnäppchen. A total Schnäppchen. Colt says, Rob, happy Abortion Survivor Day. Yee, that's dark. Our alien prince was conceived in anger on Uranus, in the cloud megacity of his home planet, before being hidden away inside a human vessel to be born on Earth. Rob's around 666 Uranian years of age and is very dangerous. I like that Colt is playing on the idea that I used to when I was a kid, when I was adopted, I used to think that I was an alien prince secreted on Earth. They had sequestered me here to keep me safe from the war on my home planet. And one day my people were going to come get me. Of course, I'm still waiting. But, hey, what can I say?
Look for the spaceship coming through the clouds, Rob.
It's true.
Just keep shouting, Rob. Just keep shouting.
Brian McCann sends in a super chat and says, "Let the Right One complete series Blu-ray on May 23rd." I didn't know that. There you go.
Okay.
Medicated Movie Reviews asks, "Did you guys pick up The Gate Steelbook?" You know, people love The Gate, and it's
yeah,
all
me
right.
too, Rob.
You love The Gate?
But I haven't the steelbook, Rob. I just have the UK one. I don't know from
Yeah, I
which
didn't get
company
it.
it was.
Yeah, The Gate.
When it was price reduced.
Oh, okay. I did not pick up The Gate Steelbook. I don't know if I will.
Yeah.
Andy H has been an Imagination Connoisseur, a member of the channel for 8 months. So thank you for that. I appreciate you being a member of the channel. By the way, we will be bringing back the member chat next week. I couldn't do it this week, unfortunately, just because of the work. Major Chai Chai gifted 5 Burnettwork memberships. Thank you for that. I very much appreciate that. Danzig 1979, who's been a member for 8 months, says, "Watching the show with my son Ben, a fellow physical media aficionado who has impeccable taste. Loving the show."
That's good.
Well, Danzig 1979. Well, one, you're saying you're name checking Glenn Danzig, which is always good, and the fact that you have a son named Ben who has impeccable taste means you're a good father, and you're watching this show together. So you and Ben, congratulations to the both of you, and we love hearing that. Brian Doyle says, "Hi, Robin Dieter. I just checked on the Conversation 4K box set, and it's still showing being available to pre-order on the UK Amazon site." Ooh, well then maybe I'm going to go right now and do that because it was not available before. Or maybe it just won't ship it to me in the United States. Let's see if I can get it. And I'm going to try, and we will see, because I have to have that box set. Have to have it. But we are caught up. That is
no way around it.
No. I mean, and it's a Studio Canal, it's the Studio Canal set. So you have to have that. And they've sold quite a bit. Oh, you know what? It's true. They are allowing me to pre-order it. Maybe.
Nice. Thanks, Brian.
So wait a minute.
Yeah.
We're showing you items. There's a problem with some of the items in your order. This item is no longer available from the seller you selected. When applicable, we'll move it to the saved items.
I know that, Rob. I know that situation.
Yep. Can't.
If you think you can order it, and then
they will not. They
then
probably
something like
won't
that
sell it to me in the United States. Which
could be,
because there's a lot of things. I want to get that North by Northwest steelbook.
Yeah.
And they won't. Wow, this is really interesting. Are they not? We'll have to see.
I remember it was the same for me, Rob, for another title, where the price did show up, but then it said no, not possible. But I don't remember the title anymore.
Yeah, I'll have to figure something out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hitchhiker 42 says, "The problem with 4K is not producing enough copies to sell, which is dumb. Conan box set sold out, the Crow Steelbook, and many others I can't get now." Well, I finally got my Conan set.
Yeah.
Which is great. But yeah, this is a big problem. They're not, I mean, if you look, let's look at where we're at. Here was from the beginning, I mean, UHD 17.9%. I mean, when UHD titles come out, people buy them. And they're not, I mean, obviously this market share is small. But yeah, this is a huge problem. and it's just going to get worse. It's just going to get worse. And it's been really, I have to say, I usually would always rely on Amazon to get whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
I can't rely on over the last 2-3 months. No. I mean, Amazon, you order stuff from Amazon, you're not guaranteed to get it. I don't understand. I don't understand, like, the whole idea of, like, you pre-order something, you should be locked in. And why?
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. The studios are not manufacturing, but how do you not know? And I can't help but think that we're facing the same problem. Remember, I was talked about how Disney didn't know that anybody would want to buy the 20th anniversary of Tron DVD. They thought no one was going to buy it. I honestly think that the idiots that are the people who work at, not everybody, like obviously not George Feltenstein. I don't think Sony will have this problem, but the people that work at the studios, they don't even know what these movies are. Like, nobody understands that The Crow is a beloved film because no one knows. They don't know what The Crow is. They don't know the history. It's based on J.O. Barr's comic. They don't know anything about The Crow. They don't know that it's basically it is a beloved film amongst the audience of people that buy physical media. And it's really really frustrating. And I think one of the things that I find interesting about the entertainment business being such a mess, nobody will come out and say the obvious. These people don't know the business they're in. They don't know if you're if your business is selling movies and TV and you don't know anything about the history of movies and television, why are you working in the business? Like, I don't get it, to be honest. I don't understand. And the fact that they're not manufacturing, first of all, people who are buying discs, you have to assume that the people that are buying 4K discs are the top tier collectors of the format. So you should think about, and I understand, the problem is it's niche. 4K is niche the way Laserdiscs were niche. And it's not something that's being well served. And
which the pie always shows us, Rob.
Yeah, and it's incredibly frustrating. And I understand, because in order to benefit from 4K, you have to have a 4K TV, you have to have a 4K player, and you have to have a pretty extensive sound bars. Just don't cut it.
No.
I appreciate that
Definitely
some
not.
use sound bars and all that, but if you're going to want to avail yourself of what's available on a disc, you're going to want to invest 10 or 15 grand in a decent sound system, as an entry level thing. And in order to make it worth your while. But it's incredibly frustrating to not be able to, and lately it's just been getting ridiculous. So what are you going to do? PGS Hero, that was Hitchhiker 42. So yeah, we are caught up.
Okay, Rob. So if you're caught up and we just
actually
talked about it, Rob,
Care About You
yeah,
joined the channel or became a new member. So Care About You. Thank you for caring about us.
Rob, I got mine, at least.
And did you watch it?
Yeah.
How
totally fine. Fine with the transfer. I haven't seen The Crow in probably forever. Really still holds up. I think what makes the movie great is actually that it's rough around the edges. It's not polished. And that's, I think, is helping actually the movie. So what we got inside, besides the 2 discs, are some lobby cards. And I think a poster's in here too. You get there are 2 edition games. So you got the Blu-ray and the 4K, but I don't think there are new special features. But I haven't checked that. So you got the old classical poster of it, and we get some lobby cards for it. Just see.
Nice.
When will the remake hit theaters, Rob? Later this year, I think.
No, wait, what?
That remake. When will the remake hit theaters?
I have no idea. What a weird. I mean, it's such a bizarre. I don't even know. It's just this whole remake, the way it looks and all that. Yeah. It's just strange. I don't know. It feels like they've been trying to make this movie for 20 years, and it doesn't. It. I mean, The Crow has such the dark fantasy, romantic dark fantasy nature of it. I mean, The Crow is like the goth anthem. If a movie could be an anthem, The Crow is that. Yeah. And the new Crow.
It's good take, Rob.
Yeah, the new Crow, I don't know, man. I don't know. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Yeah, I hope it's good.
So let me just put that back here. So, nice little slip over it. So The Crow. Then a sci-fi movie, Rob. A cat in the bag, because I don't know anything about it. It's called A Million Days, is the title for it. But I have no idea what.
I don't know that.
What is the story of it?
Okay, let me ask you this. Why did you decide to buy that? What made you pick
Well, it came across my radar, Rob. Then I watched the reviews out. And Hermione Caulfield is in it, and I loved seeing her. She had a little small role in Mission Impossible. I think it was Rogue Nation, and she had a nice survival thriller, but I don't remember the name of it anymore. Let me just see. No, it's not featured here, and it's only 38 minutes. So fingers crossed, Rob. A million days. Then. One of the German different titles, the actual title is The Tournament, an older classic with Angela Mao, but the German title is, well, The Death Ride of the Yellow Cat. but the original title is The Tournament, and it comes actually with small, but at least some little liner notes. What's really crazy is that the movie is actually still rated 18 here, which is a little bit ridiculous. So they probably have not gone through the rating again to give it a fresh rating. So The Tournament, and then considering I was a little bit on a Danish vibe, Rob. I heard good things about this movie and finally saw it. Really nice. The Promised Land.
Oh, yeah.
Mads Mikkelsen.
I'm dying to see that.
Yeah. Totally great movie. Had a blast. Mads always shines. And if you're watching it in Danish, there is a little bit German-speaking parts in it too. So really, really nice one. The Promised Land. Totally can recommend that. Sorry. And the last one, Rob, which I watched this afternoon. A little bit of a coffee and cake movie. But I had a good time with Wicked Little Letters, Rob. Nice British comedy.
Yeah. It looks funny. I saw the trailer for it. It looked good.
Yeah. With some serious undertones. The twist, who is writing the letters, is not really that far to guess. So there was not really a twist for me, but the movie itself did really flow nice and really nice picture quality, even if it's just a Blu-ray. So really nice picture quality. The last for this week, Rob. Wicked Little Letters.
Nice. Very nice. So I guess I should... Stubble McShave said there's a physical letter coming that will correct a huge, gruesome mistake I made last week.
Okay.
A hint, it has to do with Ingmar Bergman and Greta Garbo. You won't be able to guess what it is until it arrives. I'm curious.
I don't know the topic anymore.
Hey, you know what? It's with all the stuff locked away in my head, I make frequent mistakes. I don't mind being corrected. I'm happy to oblige. But I've got a few more things to show.
Yeah.
I received, first of all, I'm a card carrying member of A24.
A24. Yeah.
Here's my card carrying member card. Got on my keychain. So I had never ordered anything from A24 before. I'd never ordered any discs or anything. So I ordered two things that I couldn't pass up. One, again, this is the second DVD I get to replace. Darren Aronofsky's first film, Pi, which I really liked, which was like shot in 60 millimeter. I haven't put this on. I can't wait to see this. They re-released it in 4K. This was in IMAX. And here's the A24 version of Pi. And, it's quite beautiful. And you've got the disc, and then it has a booklet. Let's see if I can get the booklet out of here. I can't. It's inverted. Or it's not booklet. It's pictures. It's actually art cards. So different art cards and everything. And I haven't put this on yet. I'm dying to see what it looks like. But like everything else A24 does, aside from their business practices, which I've heard are rather dubious lately, but I'm really impressed. I was really impressed with this package. And then this also, when I ordered it, it came with a version of Darren Aronofsky's book, The Guerrilla Diaries, on the making of Pi. Ooh. And I liked it because it comes with like brads where if it was a script, you'd have brads in it. So I don't know if this goes into at all the restoration. I'd be very curious.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that I got from A24, which I have to go full frame on, is Stop Making Sense. This is a beautiful fabric slipcase version. This is the movie. Jonathan Demme's one of the great concert movies of all time in 4K. And again, this is a really slick. Here's the movie, which, by the way, nice. I first owned this on Japanese Laserdisc. I've owned Stop Making Sense on Laserdisc, on DVD, on Blu-ray, and now I have it in 4K. And again, this has a very nice book. There's Tina. Very, very cool. This is a very, very slick package. And of course, Jordan Cronenweth, who shot Blade Runner, shot this movie. And again, this is a very, very beautiful edition of Stop Making Sense on 4K. And if you like the Talking Heads and you like this movie, this is the stuff right here. This is absolutely beautiful.
Both are exclusive to the store, I would believe.
Yes, I think they both are exclusive to the store. But now here's something else that I thought was pretty cool. So on my birthday, yes, my actual birthday, which was this past week, on my birthday, I got an email from A24. And because I'm a member, they said, "Happy birthday, please have a gift on us." And you clicked a button, and they had a wide variety of things that you could get. And I got the Blu-ray for Lamb, the Noomi Rapace movie.
Noomi Rapace, yeah.
Yeah, and not only was it free, so was the shipping. So it's on. They've shipped it to me. They shipped it to me the next day, and I'm like, "You go, A24."
Yeah. So a total cat in the back rub, and if the movie's not good, at least it was free.
I love Noomi Rapace though. So
yeah, me too. But I wasn't strong enough to watch the movie. I have a 2-rub. I have not seen it yet.
Oh,
I have it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Are you afraid of violence against lambs?
No, I think it's pretty bizarre. I would think.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Isn't that what we live for?
Yeah.
I mean,
but I
come on.
have to be in the mood for that kind of movie, Rob. No.
Okay.
Right.
Paul Allen Bernotto said, "Hi, Rob and
Yeah.
Dieter. Were you aware that Emmy, Golden Globe, and SAG award-winning character actor Dabney Coleman passed away on Thursday?" I was. He was one of my favorites with many TV show appearances and iconic movies. He was 92. Yes, Dabney Coleman passed away. Two of my favorite Dabney Coleman roles were in 9 to 5 as the boss. Where's that 4K or that? I don't have. I realized because when he passed away, I was like, I'm going to watch 9 to 5. And I realized I don't own 9 to 5.
Ooh.
You know, I love 9 to 5. And that's a movie I saw with my parents. I realized 9 to 5 and Private Benjamin. Come on, man. Those are two comedies I really love from the early 80s. And another movie that I love Dabney Coleman in, another comedy, is Tootsie, when he plays kind of the misogynist director of the soap opera that Dustin Hoffman was at Southwest General. Yeah, Dabney Coleman was a great actor. I think wasn't Dabney Coleman was he in War Games?
I can't tell you anymore. Could be, but I have no idea. From the top of my head, I can tell you if he was in that movie. Haven't seen War Games in ages.
You know, I think he was. I think he was because he was. I loved Dabney Coleman. He was. Yes, he was.
Great.
War Games is great. Have that in 4K.
You remember correctly.
Yes, and you know what? Speaking of War Games, since we brought it up, can I get Blue Thunder in 4K? Come on, man.
That would
give me a little Blue
nice.
Thunder.
That would be nice.
Blue Thunder was the great 70s conspiracy thriller transition to the 80s action movie, even though it came out in 1983. That was John Badham's 1-2 punch. He put out War Games and Blue Thunder in the same year.
And the German title, Rob, was The Flying Eye.
Wow. I'm a Blue Thunder fan. Way better than Airwolf. Come at me, bro. What are you going to do? Anyway, so, yeah, we have, let's see, Paul Allen Bernotto, that's what he asked. So, yeah, we're caught up. We're good. So what else,
news?
Man? Yeah, I got so much. There's so much good news this week. First of all, big news from Sony. All of you Three Stooges fans, check this out. Look at this, the Three Stooges collection. Now, I'm not necessarily a Three Stooges guy, but if you are a Three Stooges guy, I might have to get this just to get it, just to support the fact that, I mean, look at this set. Woo! This is very exciting. Very exciting. So, you got to love that. Three Stooges is coming at you. And then we've got a film called The Burglars, which Omar Sharif and
Jean-Paul
Belmondo are. Now, I've never seen this, but hey, from the early 70s, my kind of film. I'll buy this, even though I don't know anything about it. Now, Criterion announced their August releases, and the first thing they're releasing is The Last Emperor in 4K, but I already have this in 4K because Arrow put it out. So, as our friend Elliot Cohen pointed out on his...
Turbine in Germany.
Yeah, so we already have this, so unfortunately, I won't be picking this up, but for those people who don't have it, the Arrow release is spectacular, but you can pick it up. So if you're a fan of Puyi, you can get it in 4K from an American company. 2 Albert Brooks movies, both of which I like. Albert Brooks's Real Life and Mother are coming out from Criterion. I like that. They previously put out Defending Your Life. So you go, Albert Brooks. Both of these movies are a lot of fun. I really like them. They're also putting out a few things that I don't know much about. Not a Pretty Picture, which they're putting out. And they're also putting out Brief Encounters in the Long Farewell from a director named Kira Muratova. Again, don't know much about these, but when Criterion puts this stuff out, it's usually worth getting. So I'll get it. And that's what is on their upcoming slate. Not bad. Then we go over to 88 Films is putting out The
Ooh,
Bodyguard
nice.
from Beijing. Look at that.
Beijing.
Come on. This is a 4K release from them. And again, these restorations of Asian cinema, it's so cool. Between 88, 101, Vinegar Syndrome, we're getting a
Eureka.
Eureka. Oh, yeah. They're putting out so many great things. I mean, this is something definitely to get. And, oh, yeah. And it's great to see this stuff coming. And again, we're living in a golden age, my friend, a true golden age. Yeah. Then we're also getting Orgasmo, not the Trey Parker and Matt Stone Orgasmo from their Italian collection. Hey, look, it's an 18 movie. I don't know much about it.
That doesn't mean anything, Rob, in the UK. You know,
it doesn't.
Could be censored. Oh,
even if it's an 18.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Poor Things is 18, Rob.
Those bastards. That's terrible. Well, anyway, Orgasmo, it's a Giallo movie from Umberto Lenzi. The cinematic gem follows a wealthy widow who moves to a luxurious home in Italy, only to find herself the target of a mysterious but handsome stranger and his equally stunning step-sibling. So cue questionable debauchery, dangerous drugs, and very saucy sex. Starring Hollywood hottie Carol Baker, this psychological thriller takes the genre into truly dark, surreal places whilst delivering a pitch-perfect, claustrophobic atmosphere. Well, count that. I'll be purchasing that. Thank you very much. And then we've got The Legacy of Rage with Brandon Lee.
Brandon Lee.
Speaking of The Crow. And Ronnie, you directed this. Is doing what he does best here, delivering a breathtaking, action-packed, fist-flying tale of vengeance, which stars Brandon Lee. Hardworking Brandon Ma is loving life with his girlfriend May, but his drug-dealing best friend Michael has sights on May and sets Brandon up for murder. Soon Brandon is on the hunt to save his girl and exact brutal revenge. In this stylish flick, which is packed with stunning fight choreography and cool dialogue. I've never even heard of this movie, but hey, I'll buy it. Ronnie, you made it. Why not? And then we've also got coming out from them. And by the way, these are all from 88 Films. So 88 Films doing a little Island of Terror is horrors unleashed on an isolated island community where the inhabitants find themselves at the mercy of tentacled creatures that can liquefy human tissue and bone. Fuck yeah, man. Count me in. And Peter Cushing's in it. So let me give it to me. I'll buy that. Then we have Crawl Space, the Klaus Kinski movie, which Crazy is Klaus. This movie's all right. I don't love it, but Henry Thomas is in it, so why not? Why not get Crawl Space?
Don't tell that to Klaus that you don't love it, Rob. I
know I won't, but it's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah.
If you want it, you can get it. So there you go. And then what else we got? We got more coming from 88 Films. The Blood Beast Terror. And, of course, the series of bloodthirsty murders is investigated by Inspector Quinnell of Scotland Yard, but when their search for the killer leads them to the door of a strange entomologist and his beautiful daughter Claire, events take a nightmarish turn. And it's a 19th century tale of transformation, monsters, and terror. So there you go. And Wanda Ventum, who is Colonel Virginia Lake in UFO, is in this movie. So whoo-hoo. And then finally, this is an interesting one from 88, Doom Watch. Okay. Now, Doom Watch was based on I want to say a TV show. After the waters surrounding the remote island of Balfi become overpolluted by chemical dumps, some of the inhabitants begin to exhibit extreme behavioral and physical changes as they transform into violent and deformed creatures. Directed by Peter Sasti, who directed Taste the Blood of Dracula, Countess Dracula, and Hands of the Ripper, and based on the successful BBC science fiction TV show of the same name, this Tygon horror flick oozes with menace, tapping into our fears about environmental destruction and isolated communities. Two things you know what? I don't know about you, but I'm always thinking about isolated communities and environmental destruction. It's something that, plagues my waking hours. So,
So right up your alley.
so bring it on.
You and your Fall of Civilization, Rob.
I love it. And then we've got Mondo Macabro. You know, they're always worth a few. They're always putting something out. And now,
Yeah.
again, how can I not? You know, let's bring on. I mean, you can get porn if you want, or you can get the sex apocalypse from Mondo Macabro. And because don't you want that? Isn't that something that you would want in your life? So the sex apocalypse is about a kinky gang of free-loving criminals, 3 women and 2 men, and they come into possession of the keys to a large and luxurious villa belonging to a man traveling abroad for an extended period of time. Taking advantage of the extra space and security of their new home, they decide to try a shot at the big time and kidnap a rich man's daughter, intending to hold her for $1 million ransom. Discovering that the girl has enjoyed a privileged and sheltered upbringing and is also a virgin, 2 of the female members of the gang decide to induct the hostage into their own sexually liberated ways, but they find out that she may be a lot wiser than they thought. It sounds like Abigail. And soon, a dangerous power struggle is set in motion, a struggle that ends in a deadly and shocking apocalypse of sex and violence. In Spain, from the late 1970s, after the law was liberated, there was an explosion of sex films on the country's screens. These films are classified by the censor as S, meaning they might offend the sensibilities of the viewer. And Sex Apocalypse is one of the most notorious of all the sex movies, or S movies. It's a film that should not be watched by the easily offended. Wow. Count
so
me
after
in.
Open Glory, Rob, after Open Glory, another
me
apocalypse wow for you.
Apocalypse, wow.
Wow.
Sex Apocalypse. 2 things I love, sex and apocalypse movies. There you go. Put them together. It's kind of like having chocolate in your peanut butter. Yeah. Sounds good to me.
After your fall of the civilization, Sex Apocalypse, Rob.
Sex Apocalypse.
Right,
and then they're following it up with another release, Fata Morgana. Yeah. A man rehearses a lecture he's planning. Oh, wait a minute. Directed in 1965 by Vincent Aranda, Fata Morgana is a hallucinogenic mixture of chase thriller, science fiction, art film, and comic book-inspired puzzle. Filled with garishly colored visuals and with a hypnotic, jazzy soundtrack, the film is a unique and highly entertaining first feature from one of world cinema's most renowned creators. Hey, man, bring it on. I've heard of this movie. I've never seen it. Why not get it? So there you go. Hey, and speaking of which, the hits just keep on coming. Kino Lorber in 4K is putting out Can't Stop the Music. Can't Stop the Music. This movie, Nancy Walker directed this movie. I've seen this movie probably more times than I care to admit. The Village People are in it. Look at this cast. Valerie Perrine, The Village People, Steve Guttenberg, and, okay, I got a question for you. And it says right on the box, if you notice, It says right here. I'm gonna zoom in case you can't see it, because I'm gonna ask what your opinion is on this, Dieter. So, as you can see on the box, let me just center this up here. Bruce Jenner, there he is, Bruce Jenner. Yeah. So my question to you is, if you're talking about the fact that you're going to buy Kino Lorber's 4K of Can't Stop the Music, and people say, really, who's in it? If you say Bruce Jenner is in it, are you dead naming Bruce Jenner? Does that mean you're offending the sensibilities of people? Or can you actually say from a historical perspective, because Bruce Jenner is, of course, transitioned. He's no longer Bruce. But if you buy this disc, and if you're telling somebody who's in the movie, it's on the movie, is that offensive? Like, I feel this way about Inception. What do I do when I think about who's in the movie? And if you say Ellen Page, is that a bad thing? I don't know. I haven't wrapped. No one's told me the etiquette of how I should, because I don't want to offend anybody. I prefer, but Bruce Jenner was in Can't Stop the Music
at that point in time.
I mean, the thing is, Caitlyn Jenner was not in that movie. So how do you do it? I don't know. You out there watching, you tell me, what is the protocol? What is the protocol on this? Yeah. Now, our friends at Umbrella, that are killing it with their releases lately. Umbrella has done a brand new restoration of this movie, Wake in Fright, a very famous Australian movie that I actually quite like. I have a copy of this already. But they were talking about how the color timing, this was the way it was color timed was kind of wrong, and it didn't show how the hot, dry environment. So they've gone back and painstakingly, Umbrella has painstakingly put this back the way it should look. So that's cool. That's exciting. I'll pick this up because I like this film quite a bit. Then we also, this is really interesting, 1970s thrillers by Robert Faust and John Ho, and Soon the Darkness, which I've seen and like, and Sudden Terror. This is a 4K double feature coming out from Kino Lorber.
Yeah, I think And Soon the Darkness will get released here too, Rob, as a media book, but I could be wrong. But I think I've seen something like that. But only And Soon the Darkness, not as a double feature.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty cool. I love this, a double feature in 4K. You go, Kino Lorber. You keep, it's that cartel money is doing right by you guys. Let me tell you. So, Sony, this is a big release. Sony is putting out The Lady from Shanghai, Orson Welles and Rita Hayworth. I told you, you know nothing about wickedness. Look at this cover. This is a great cover. This is definitely something to buy in 4K. Can't wait to get that. Now, here's another. Speaking of people jumping into the Asian film explosion on home entertainment, let's talk about Second Sight, buddy. Second Sight is releasing A Bittersweet Life. I love this movie. This movie's awesome. Look at this. Second Sight knocking it out of the park. Come on, everybody. You know what I say.
And I think it's the first 4K release of the movie. If it's not out in Korea, I think it's the first 4K.
Yeah, well, and you know what I say about Second Sight? If Second Sight was a girl, she would be Holly, Farrah Fawcett Majors from Logan's Run. So thank you. Thank you. You can pre-order this now. Go pre-order it. Support Second Sight. They do the Lord's work over there. Then we got a Frank Capra movie coming out from Classic Flicks. Meet John Doe. We've talked about this before, but look at that. Frank Capra's production. Gary Cooper, Barbara Stanwyck. Meet John. Come on. You got to get all of Frank Capra's movies. What a great piece of art. I miss those days, don't you? With great artwork. So Meet John Doe is coming out. Great, great, great film. Then we got Cat Ballou. I don't know if I love this, but Lee Marvin, Peter Fonda. I've seen this movie a few times. I haven't seen it in a long time. I don't know if I'll get this, but hey, it's coming out. New restoration. Then, of course, we are getting...
Jane Fonda, Rob.
Oh, did I say Peter Fonda? Did I say Peter or Henry Fonda? I was thinking Grapes of Wrath. But yes, that's a mistake. See, I just made a mistake. I'll correct myself. Purple Rain is coming. This is HDR, so I don't think it's Dolby Vision, but I can't wait to get this. Yeah. Got to get that Steelbook because it's Prince, and I love it. I keep showing this, but I can't. I love that it's coming out. You go, Prince.
Is this has the Steelbook the same cover, Rob, or do we have a?
I think it's different.
Cover problem again.
I think it's different. Then Severin, from our friends at Severin, their third volume of Danse Macabre, and this time it's the Spanish Gothic collection. Now, again, when the Franco, the regime, they loosened up, so they made all these crazy movies. This has a bunch of cool... Look, I don't know anything about these movies. These two sets are great. Got to get this one. You've got Necrophagus? Necrophagus? Look at that cover. Come on, man. This looks like Bernie Wrightson drew it. I love it. You got to love that. Come on. And then you've got Cake of Blood. Who doesn't want a cake of blood? I mean, Martino Simoni brought me a cake, an Austrian chocolate cake that was amazing, but I would have had a cake of blood. I mean, I love this just for the covers alone. Cross of the Devil. You know me. Give me, I mean, it's not Tombs of the Blind Dead, but which I already have, but Cross the Devil. And then bringing up the rear is, of course, Night of the Walking Dead. What's not to love? I mean, come on. So all in this great box set. Look at those covers. You go, Severin. You got to love Severin. I love Severin. What a great company they are, and they always deliver.
Definitely.
We have, here we go, the top 20 sellers for the week. Of course, you can always look at the different indexes. Of course, people are always complaining, well, Rob. Okay, so anyway, look what we got. This is overall. Now,
Madam Web.
The Blu-ray share for the title is there. The UHD share for the title is there. And the index number is there. So you can all look at that right there. Number 1 is fucking Madam Web. What is wrong with you people? Come on, man.
I have no idea, Rob.
Who's buying this shit?
No idea.
Madam Web. The Beekeeper is number 2. That's good. That's respectable. That's good, go, David Ayer. Star Wars Obi-Wan and Star Wars Andor at 3 and 4. I did buy Andor, of course, which is good. Ordinary Angels from Lionsgate. Okay. Moon Knight, the complete first season. Totally disappointed me. I'm not buying that, even though I love Moon Knight. The Falcon and Winter Soldier, the complete first season. I mean, clearly these Disney titles. Hey, Disney, this should tell you something. People are buying your stuff. The Taylor Sheridan series.
Even the bad ones, Rob.
Yeah. Lawman, Bass Reeves coming out. Mean Girls in 2024. And Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. And then we go to Blu-ray discs. Madam Web. Jesus Christ. Are we that desperate? Madam Web, Star Wars, Obi-Wan, and Andor. Who's buying this shit? Moon Knight, The Beekeeper, The Falcon and Winter Soldier, Ordinary Angels, Mean Girls, Aquaman, and the Lost Kingdom, and Mean Girls 2024. So the original Mean Girls coming out there again and is outselling the new Mean Girls, which you should, because Mean Girls is great. And then finally, the top-selling 4K discs, Andor, Obi-Wan, Madam Web. God, we are desperate for product. Moon Knight, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Mean Girls, The Abyss, which I still don't have mine, Oppenheimer, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, and The Lord of the Rings, the Motion Picture Trilogy. So there we are, son. That is all the news that's fit to print.
Could it be a situation where people haven't seen the movie in theaters and think, come on, I buy it, watch it at home?
That's us. That's us. But even I will not be purchasing that movie.
Me neither. Me neither. Haven't even seen it. No.
I know. And I have seen it, and it's not good. It's not good. It's not good. It's surprisingly awful. And but you know what though?
So in line with the Sony output.
Yeah, it could have been good. It's inexplicable. The people, I don't understand why these franchise pictures are not being directed. They're plucking people. The director of this was a TV director. She was a TV director, and of course, you're not going to say no to directing a feature. But why not find people that are really passionate about this material? Otherwise you're making a studio programmer. I mean, you can't make a franchise property that's supposed to be part of your extended Spider-Verse and not get people that are making
passionate about something, Rob.
Yes, exactly. I don't understand. I really don't. I don't get it. I don't get it, Deets.
Yeah.
But that's all the news that's fit to print.
Okay.
Let's see. 5 Dot Toast. 5 Dot Toast gifted 5 Burnettwork memberships. Thank you. That's very nice. Secular Monk says, happy birthday, Rob. Do you know when there will be a 4K of Network? From what I can tell, it's an MGM property. Maybe something Kino could do. Oh, man, I would love to get Network. I really would. I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. So I would love to. I'd love to get that. Again, it is an MGM movie. Again, a movie I've owned on Laserdisc, multiple versions of it. Don't know when that's going to be coming out. I really don't know, but it is a bummer that we don't have it. Love to get it in 4K. Thomas Logan says, Gretchen Sommerfeld's interruptions. Thoughts and tales on this mid-90s editing trek. Would Dear Bastian enjoy this movie? Should interruptions be on 4K with HDR10? Okay, so Interruptions was a movie that one of the first movies that I edited for a woman named Gretchen Sommerfeld. It was a very personal story about her family. It was really based on her family. And it was part of, she's a very smart woman. And it was part of, when I first started my own editing career, I worked on a lot of films that were made by first-time filmmakers that were personal to them, but I don't necessarily think that they found any audiences. Because, here's the thing. When you're making a movie, a lot of artists want to make films about, their lives. And like another movie, Jim Boyd's The New Gods, it was very personal to him, but I don't necessarily think that the movies were meant that audiences would dig them. And I think that I worked on a couple of those movies where the filmmakers were very passionate about what they were making because they were very personal to those filmmakers. But the movies, you have to look, when you're making a film, when you're the first thing that you have to ask yourself is, who's going to watch it? Because and people say, I'm making a movie. I only write for myself. Fuck off. If you're going to write for yourself, it's like, I get it. You want to write a diary and you want to write. No, you have to presuppose that there's an audience for this material. And you have to ask yourself, if you're going to make a movie, by definition, you expect somebody to watch it. And you should ask yourself, what is it about this particular story that I'm going to tell? What does it say to my audience? And Interruptions was I thought it was a pretty was a well-made movie, and the performances were pretty great. But I don't think it transcended the material to give you something different that you weren't seeing in various TV shows of the period. But again, I still work on these movies for a long time and pour my heart and soul into them to make them the best they can be. So it's just a question of who's going to watch this. And sometimes a lot of movies that you get involved with, I don't say no to them. And I've worked on a lot of low-budget movies of that ilk, and I think that I've made them all better by my involvement because I still pour my heart and soul into them. I just don't know. Obviously, they're very little seen, hard to see. I don't even know if you could ever see Interruptions. I don't know if it's ever been available on any format. But I brought my friend Frank Kowalczyk in back in the 90s. We're still friends. And, he helped me work on it. So, it was fun. It was fun to do. And I had a massive crush on Gretchen. She was way out of my league, though. Too intelligent for me. Terrible. Walter Whitewalker says, so I'm legally blind. Have you looked into marketing true noir to the blind community? That's a really interesting question. I have not.
That's a good take.
But that is I like that. I've never thought about that. Like in terms of, that's a great idea to look into. Doing some outreach to the, by the way, can we say, I've heard now that you can't use the word blind anymore. Have you heard this? That it's ableist or something?
Yeah, you have to help me out here, Rob, if I'm misstepping here.
No, blind. Well, I have to say that Walter Whitewalker says he is legally blind. So he's used the word blind. I heard this week that you can no longer say blind, that it's ableist or something. You have to say sight impaired. I mean, doesn't it mean the same thing? Oh, it's such a weird thing that people are deciding, well, that word is insensitive. How is it insensitive?
Blind.
It's a descriptor. It's a descriptor of a condition that's actually a factual thing.
Yeah.
Do you think people who are blind don't know that they're blind? Do you think you're going to make them feel better by saying sight impaired or something? I don't get it. Anyway, Walter Whitewalker, that is a very, very good idea. And I want to thank you for that one. That's a good one. Vanda's Cinema says, not about physical media, but Maxine looks incredible. That's the third. I can't wait either.
Yeah.
I believe that's one of the best trailers of the year. Can't wait to see it in a theater. I agree. I really like that. Our friend, the beloved Irene Jobson, is back.
Irene.
Happy birthday, R&B and Dieter. Sorry, I missed the actual date. Laugh out loud. Much love and filth. Is that a cola or is that a beer?
Alcohol-free Erdinger.
How do you drink alcohol-free beer? You're a wacky German. John from New York has been a member for 11 months. Thank you, John.
Nice.
Very much appreciate that. And I said 5 dot toast. Oh, 1001 Johnny says Robin Dieter, Batman Caped Crusader. More pictures of the show have been released. Have you seen them? Look at Selena Kyle in her black dress. Meow. The series drops August 1st on Prime. Will you both be there? I would totally be there. I mean, I've had a lot of fun with X-Men 97. Give me a new Batman animated series to get behind. I will do it. By the way, I didn't ask. I would love to see Kino Lorber do Network in 4K. I mean, that would be. I didn't say that, but I would love to see that happen.
That would be nice.
Yeah,
certainly,
definitely be nice. So yeah, we are caught up, and
so it's my turn, Rob. You take a break.
Well, I don't have to take a break, but I'll turn it over to you, buddy.
Okay, so previously on Let's Get Physical Media, Paul and Brunotto, Hope and Glory was one of the best fan films on YouTube. Congrats to the cast and crew. Altmetall, considering The Fall Guy, they failed totally to appeal to me as a fan of the old TV show. That's unfortunate. In the Age, really enjoyed The Fall Guy. Nice to see Heather Thomas at the end. One of my earliest crushes as a young lad. Her bikini was memorable. So you purchased one, I would guess so. That bikini. Altmetall, is the old Fall Guy show anywhere on Blu-ray? As far as I know, Altmetall, no. Rob, is the Fall Guy available on Blu-ray? I don't think so. Just on DVD.
No.
The old TV series. Yeah. Huge Chess. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes could have been better, but it was the most visually striking theatrical experience of my life. Okay. And Albion says, I saw Lee Majors at Comic-Con Birmingham a few years ago. Nice. Eugene, considering last week we've got Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Can't wait to watch Movie Math with Grace Randolph later. Grace is going to love that. And Charlie the Unicorn says she will definitely go ape. Certainly. Manny P, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, successful with any recognizable actors. The Fall Guy, fail with 2 well-known actors. Yeah, that's what happens these days. Mr. Gonzalez, Fall Guy was good, too bad it bombed, and people complained that there are no original movies. Okay? It was from an old IP. Tim Hens, Star Wars Episode 1, not a good film 20 years ago, still not great now. Charlie the Unicorn, get off Dieter's Apes lawn! And Cyphex, Planet of the Apes looked amazing, but the third act was just ridiculous and the payoff was lame, unfortunately. Castle Grayskull, I think Dieter should use that pole behind him for the thousands observations. I don't know how, but okay. Tim Hens, for all the impressive motion capture ape effects, I still much prefer practical makeup like with the 2001 Apes remake. And Cyphex says there was a lot of long shots of just showing off the world that tracked the pace of the film a lot, but nothing much happened even after the premise was established. I showed last week the movie She's Conan, and Charlie the Unicorn did some research about it. Charlie the Unicorn, She is Conan is a French action fantasy film directed by Bertrand Mendico and released in 2023, so last year. 84% on Rotten Tomatoes. So we talked about a Nightwatch, Rob, and you had a little bit of a switch with the Russian movies, and Lord Hoss said, I love the Russian ones, Daywatch and Nightwatch.
Yeah.
Me 2.
By the way, I just want to point out
Yeah.
that Brian Knight, I didn't think that Dabney Coleman was in Private Benjamin. I was just saying that I liked 9 to 5 and Private Benjamin from the early 80s, and I didn't own either one of them. It was War Games that I was wondering, and he is in War Games.
Okay.
I just want to point that out.
Yeah. We try to clear our mistakes up. And we had last week, little talk about the Powerpuff Girls. Tim's talk. The Powerpuff Girls are metal.
They are.
And B-Dep, my niece loved the Powerpuff Girls and Mojo Jojo. Cody G. Rob needs to watch Attack on Titan. Not only Rob, myself included. Considering I heard...
the animation or the live-action movie? Because I have seen the animation.
I think he means the animation. The 2 live-action movies I have seen, actually. But unfortunately...
I own the animation. I have
made it show.
I have it,
nice. RJ Skorengi. Rob, I love the Powerpuff Girls. What a nostalgia trip. And that I didn't know, Rob. Fact, the voice of Mojo Jojo is Ghostface himself. I didn't know that, Rob.
I didn't either.
Channel Surf. Mojo Jojo is the best. Secular Monk. I was expecting something like South Park or The Simpsons. Family Guy, maybe. Not the Powerpuff Girls. Thomas Bartoldi. Dieter can be the Powerpuff Girls professor. Rob can be Mojo Jojo.
I'll take
And
it.
considering, Rob, you found money on your porch. Das Play-Doh. You just said on live YouTube that cash people can find cash on your doorstep, Rob.
Well, yeah, in foreign currency.
Yeah.
It's a foreign currency. You'd have to. I don't know if the exchange rates.
Yeah. And Stubble corrected us. That money is not Swedish. It might be Swiss. And Carsten Grayskull says it's Swiss francs. So Schweizer Franken auf Deutsch.
There it is.
And nice. And I think something even made in the live chat, the exchange rate, it's about $11. Chris Lawyer. Who would win in a fight, Captain Kirk or Captain Kurtzman? I don't think that is a competition.
I don't think Alex Kurtzman can throw a punch.
Yeah. Das Play-Doh. Kurtzman couldn't hit space if he was thrown out an airlock. Channel Surf. I've been watching the Roger Corman cult classics this week. What an amazing man. I know so many people who worked for him. I got to meet him when I was a member of the Academy of Science Fiction.
Mm-hmm.
B-Dep, considering the audio drama, Rob. Isn't that why you do crowdfunding before you complete it? So you can pay for stuff like the actors. And with that, Talia Meyer asks, is there already a link for the crowdfunding campaign? Take us through it again, Rob.
Okay, so yeah, yes. I mean, we're going to be recording. We've already put it in production, and yeah, we're going to need to raise a lot of money to do it properly. But we're going to be doing it in the middle of production, so we don't have to. I mean, part of the stretch goals is the more money we make, the more we can pay, the better actors we can get. One of the actors that I really wanted to get is so far out of our price range that we could never get him, which was disappointing.
Okay.
But yeah, that's part of our stretch goal. Is the more.
And there was no wiggle room up.
No, not in this case. It's just too much money. I mean, and no, it's here's what I do like. If you look at recent successful crowdfunds, like Eric July's Isom comic, he invested $100,000 of his own money and printed a 96-page graphic novel that was pretty much ready to go when he launched his crowdfunding campaign. He ended up making $3.5 million, which is pretty great. For our audio drama for the campaign, because we're not starting the crowdfund till the end of June, we're going to have the crowdfund begin in June and end at the end of August. When the crowdfunding campaign is done, we're basically going to be finished, and we'll be able to start releasing it immediately. So if you've chosen you'll be able to get it in all different formats. You'll be able to get a digital download. You'll be able to get it on CD. You'll be able to get it on Blu-ray, so you can have multiple mixes. And the Blu-ray is going to come with a bunch of video stuff, like the video we took Todd Stashwick to to Chicago and walked around with him. You'll be able to get all of that, and then we're going to have interviews with people. The physical media is going to be great. And then there's going to be vinyl. I don't even know if people are going to want the vinyl box set. I just want to make one, but it's expensive. You can't just do a vinyl box set it'll have 11 heavy gauge records. See, the thing is, and I say this in the Ask video, when I was a kid, I loved my records, like Power Records. Power Records did Planet of the Apes, they did superheroes, and they were audio dramas, and I love them. And so we're making, if people want to buy it, and I'm looking what the minimum can be. We might have to make 200 box sets. And those 200 box sets are probably going to end up, we're going to have to charge like $400. Now, will anybody buy them? I don't know. If they don't buy them, then we don't make them. It's that's basically
easy peasy.
That's what it is. If you want to support, there's many different, the way we have it tiered, you can mix and match and get it any way you want. And when people start hearing who is in this thing, even I'm surprising myself. Wow, this is amazing. But yeah, I mean, you want to hit your number, and so I don't even know if anyone's going to care. To be honest, I don't know. I have no sense. I know this thing is going to be awesome. Max Allan Collins' scripts, they're not just good, they're fucking amazing. And the only regret about doing this is that we're not shooting a movie, because we're casting recognizable actors but you're not going to see them, but they're going to be great. And I'm really excited about where this is going. So it's been fun getting White Devils off the ground. And then, this audio drama is something that I'm pretty much totally in control over. I mean, obviously I'm working with Max, but to be working with Max, when I say control, I know that I'm working with a world-class writer in Max. So when I get the scripts, I'm like, oh my God, this is so amazing. And I didn't know Max a year ago. And by the way, this whole thing has come about because of this show. Max watched this show and knew Mike Bodden, my business partner in Imagination Connoisseurs Unlimited. And they were randomly at lunch one day, and Mike put him on the phone with me. And Mike was saying, well, we should do something with one of your books or something. And then we decided to do Nathan Heller, 19 books. And the idea we're going to be, here's my plan. This is my plan. I'll tell you my plan. I want to do 4 of these audio dramas. And the Nathan Heller books start in the early 30s. And we would do 4 audio dramas, another one in the 30s, one in the 40s, and one in the 50s. So we'll have 4 total. And we would use those as the proof of concept for a streaming series. And I want to do a 3-season streaming series set in the 1960s, adapting the Nathan Heller books set in the 60s, with Todd Stashwick playing the on-camera version of Nathan Heller. And because he'll be, the age appropriate. And so if these are good and they develop a following, rather than, you have a script written and you go to some network executive going, hey, would you like to make this into a TV show? We'll have 4 6 to 8 hour programs and say, here it is. Imagine this is a TV show. So that's my plan. That's my long-term plan. I want to do 4 audio dramas. I want to direct 4 audio dramas and produce in the next 2 years, and then use those. And hopefully we can gauge enough interest and make a detective series set in the 1960s with Todd Stashwick starring as Nathan Heller. That's my plan. And you all can help. And
would you be down for it, perhaps, Rob, even make it perhaps an animation series?
You could, but the thing about animation is it's different. I mean, hell, we could take these audio dramas and animate them. Yeah. I mean, and as a matter of fact, why not? you definitely you could do that. I mean, that's definitely something that it's crossed my mind. Maybe I'll just upload the audio drama and go to Chat GPT Volume 4 and click. Here, you could.
If the network or the streamer would say not it's live action, but as an animated show.
You know what though? I'll tell you something. I would much rather do it as a live action TV series.
Yes, sure. Obviously.
Just because I think Stashwick would kill it. But anyway.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. From live chat readout from last week, I told you, Rob, I was disappointed with the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. And Lotos was there. Yeah, it wasn't violent for an R-rated movie at all. It was a 2024 Hollywood R-rated movie. They said the F word, there has to be rated R. Considering I was not a fan, Rob, of the Spider movie Infested, I said, how they multiply that fast? And Lotos says, do I have to explain the beards and the beasties? Yes, I need an exposition dump, considering Infested, More Maga says, has Dieter seen the Beyond from Fulci? I'm not really sure, perhaps in the VHS day, but I've seen it will come out, I think, this year in 4K from Fulci, the Beyond. I think from Grindhouse is releasing it in 4K this year. Adventure Square, if you want to leave Rob a tip at his house, his keys are probably in the car for a quick joyride for your tip on his porch. Henok Chibre Gergis, really like, wow, great 4K releases of movies I've been curious about for years. Yeah, there are really nice announcements. And Jemima, I saw the episode for the first time 2 days ago. Wasn't really impressed. Okay. Big Disc Energy, the Fall Guy is a masterpiece. Okay, I don't know if you're trolling here. And Henok again, Road Warrior has incredible stunts, incredible locations, incredible editing, incredible actors like Mel Gibson, and a magnetic, good as score by Brian May. It certainly does. And Big Disc Energy again, after Fall Guy is a masterpiece. Personally, I enjoyed Godzilla X Kong more than Godzilla -1. Big Disc Energy, I think you wanted to get the buzzer sound, but I have forgotten my buzzer. It's way back there. I've forgotten the buzzer. God damn it. So you have to come up with new ones. And Rob, that was live chat, from last week.
All right. Well, we got some
People
interesting super chats. Christopher Carrillo asks, Rob, I'm a millennial. I am a millennial. I love your sincere takes. With Phantom Menace hitting 1 billion, I just want to understand why you didn't like it. Why I didn't like the Phantom Menace. Well, here's my problem. Okay?
Box office doesn't equal quality.
But I would say this. The Phantom Menace was the first time in Star Wars history that we would see the Jedi at the height of their powers.
Yeah.
That is a movie that literally begins with 2 Jedi Knights at the height of their powers going to a space station and going into a room and sitting down and drinking water. To me, that there's no inciting incident. There's no... How do you open a movie that way? And I would say my real problem with the Phantom Menace is all the human characters don't feel at all real to me. There's not I just don't believe any of it. I mean, there's cool sequences in it, and justice for Ben Quadneros, but I just don't buy that movie. Every line of dialogue that comes out of everyone's mouth doesn't ring true at all. Whereas the great thing about Star Wars, the original Star Wars, A New Hope, is it's basically about the everyman. Han Solo's a truck driver. Luke he's a bootlegger, and Luke's a farmer. And then you've got a veteran of foreign wars in Kenobi, and they're two, they're us. We are Luke Skywalker. And by the time you get to watch The Phantom Menace, there's nothing relatable for an audience to buy into. And unfortunately, maybe we're supposed to like Anakin Skywalker. I don't think that there's anything in The Phantom Menace, in that first movie, that shows you that Anakin Skywalker is being set up to become Darth Vader. That doesn't happen until Attack of the Clones. And I just think it's not a very good story. I understand people's nostalgia for it, but it just doesn't work for me. Thomas Logan says, list 10 non-mainstream 70s films you'd screen for Deets. Non-mainstream. Well, I first of all, I'd have to give you the double feature of Race with the Devil and Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry. There's a good one. Probably show you Zardoz. Maybe The Final Program. I think that's 70s. Maybe ZPG with Oliver Reed, Zero Population Growth. Have you ever seen that?
No. I don't think so. Doesn't ring a bell.
I'd have to sit down and think about that. I mean, I'd have to think about off the top of my head. I'd have to find some pretty good ones for you that you haven't seen before. But I would have to go through a list off the top of my head. Those are the ones that just jumped into my mind.
Yeah.
John from New York sends in a $20 super chat and says, "Happy birthday, Rob! Picked up Nostalgia and Nostalgia on 4K this week at Barnes & Noble. They're having their sale on Criterion again. I also saw Strangers Chapter 1, a 90-minute game of hide and seek. And this is only one of 3 films out this year."
Yeah.
Which is,
yeah.
Well, what are you going to do?
At least Rennie's back in the theaters, Rob.
Yeah. Wacky. So I think we are caught up.
Okay.
We're caught up.
Rob, so what the last thing to do?
Oh no. Okay.
Rob, you're done in 2 minutes again. Come on. And I don't even have my buzzer.
I know. I'm gonna jump on George's stream.
Help, Rob. This is the back of the card.
That is the back of the car. I'm. Oh, okay. I got it.
Okay, I need lights, Rob. I need lights. Find the fine print here. So, Dr. Janet Wallace used what medication to combat the hyper-accelerated aging disease infecting the Enterprise crew?
Oh no. I would need
Dr. Janet used what medication?
This is an episode called The Deadly Years. I don't.
Okay.
I don't. Give me multiple choice.
Multiple choice. A, adrenaline. B, cortisone. C, Hyronalin. Adrenaline, cortisone, Hyronalin. Hero.
I would say adrenaline.
No, it's Hyronalin.
There you go. I missed it. I missed one.
And I don't have my buzzer.
I don't remember that one at all.
Whom did Dr. Janet Wallace marry after a romantic relationship with James Kirk? Whom did Dr. Janet Wallace marry after a romantic relationship with James Kirk?
I don't know. Give me multiple choice.
Dr. Samuel Wallace, Dr. Theodore Wallace, or Dr. Todd Wallace?
Theodore Wallace. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's right, Rob. That's
Ted,
right.
because I remember Ted. They call him Ted.
So, let me just see. Before her husband's death, Dr. Janet Wallace worked on a project on what planet? Before her husband's death, Dr. Janet Wallace worked on a project on what planet?
Oh, I have no idea. Multiple choice.
Aldebaran 3,
Aldebaran.
Gamma Hydra 4. Okay, Rob, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Even with multiple choice. Rob. So, prior to their reunion on the USS Enterprise, how many years have passed since Janet Wallace and James Kirk parted company?
Oh my God!
Prior to their reunion on the USS, how many years?
I have no idea.
Okay, we have 12 years, 2 years, or 6 years. 12, 2, or 6.
12.
No. 6.
Oh well, there you go. You got
last one. Last one. What was Dr. Janet Wallace's area of expertise? What was Dr. Janet Wallace's area of
Give me multiple choice.
Endocrinology, ach du lieber Gott, geriatrics, or pediatrics.
What was the first one?
Endocrinology.
Yeah, I would say that. Number one, endocrinology.
Yeah, that's right, Rob.
Okay.
That's right, Rob. That's right.
Yeah.
So at least 3 with multiple choice. So you have to refresh your memory, Rob.
It's true. I got to watch The Deadly Years again. It's been a while. Christopher Carrillo says, Han is not a regular truck driver. He believes to have the fastest ship. It's a fantasy science fiction. Have you seen Filoni explain Duel of the Fates? Yeah, here's the thing. I have, but the way that movie, first of all, Han Solo he's a bootlegger. You know, he might have the fastest hunk of junk in the galaxy, but he's still a truck driver. It's Smokey and the Bandit. You know, they're running moonshine. They're running spice. He's basically like what a bootlegger was doing in the 30s. You know, it's like when Hyman Roth talks about your father and I ran trucks from Canada. You know, we ran molasses. So that's what Han Solo is. He's still a you know, he's in the long tradition of bootleggers. That's what Han Solo is. That's what character is. And then I have seen Filoni explain Duel of the Fates, but here's my problem with that. It still doesn't. When you're watching Phantom Menace, I think you're constantly asking yourself, and one of the real problems that I have with Phantom Menace is because it's so digital. They've even taken, if you watch the making of, they've taken like the head from one take and put it on the body of another. None of it feels naturalistic. You don't have one moment where like Han Solo goes, I don't know, do you think a princess and a guy like me? And Luke says, no. You know, that was a naturalistic ribbing that we could understand. When Luke is standing and watching the twin setting suns of Tatooine to the strains of John Williams' French horn and that theme, there's nothing in the Phantom Menace that we as human beings here on Earth today can really identify with, because no one feels grounded. You're either watching this weird aristocracy, you're watching the Jedi that don't seem... They didn't even... Look, I think it's silly to say what I would have done, but I would have turned the Phantom Menace into a detective story and made it a buddy cop movie like Lethal Weapon, where you're following Riggs and Murtaugh or Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, and they're unraveling this mystery. And the way it's done, the way the movie, I mean, even the design work. I make fun of Sebulba and Ben. I love Ben Quadinaros, but you look at Sebulba, and that character can only exist in animation. You know, you don't believe, at least I don't believe, that a character like that exists. And one of the interesting things about the first Star Wars is the design work. Everybody that was working on that film, people were trying their best to make it believable. But by the time you get to, look, everything to me is summed up in one thing. The droid army has to use binoculars. Like, if you're a droid, first of all, one, why do you even need to see? And second of all, wouldn't your ocular implants, if you needed binoculars, wouldn't the droids have the binoculars built into their eyesight? And I know that might seem like a silly thing, but it just doesn't work for me. And it's very difficult for me to watch those movies. And I understand if you grew up with them, you know. But you have to remember when Star Wars came out, and I saw Star Wars opening weekend, and I understood the tropes that Lucas was playing with. You know, the grizzled veteran of foreign war, the bootlegger, and the farmer. And then R2 and 3PO are basically these two servants right out of Kurosawa's The Hidden Fortress. And so they were recognizable archetypes, and they were played well. You know, there was a naturalism to, I mean, when Luke gets, you know, yelled at by his uncle, yeah, you can go play with your friends when you're done with your chores. I mean, this was very grounded and believable for everybody to understand. So, I got to go study Janet Wallace now, dude. I have to go watch The Deadly Years.
Yeah. Freshen up your memory.
It's true. Well, 50%, I guess that's not so bad. Yeah. But I guess we're at the end of the road, man.
Okay. So we're caught up with Super Chats. Okay. Then, from my end, jede Person, die du triffst, hat eine Geschichte zu erzählen, die du noch zu hören hast. Alles, was du tun musst, ist zuhören.
Every person you meet has a story to tell that you have yet to hear. And all you have to do is listen. And with that, I say to everyone, have a better day. And I don't have our end music. I need to go make our end music again. But have a better day. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.